The problem with modern medical care and when the doctors are attending to a patient's physical condition, the problem here is that majority of the time, majority of doctors, in my personal experience, completely ignore how the patient is reacting emotionally to their physical condition. Of course, we know that our emotional states play a huge, significant role in the overall physical well-being of our health. It impacts how vulnerable we are to actually attaining an illness or a disease, and then it actually impacts the course of our recovery as well, depending on how our emotional state is during that discovery of an illness. The stories where you hear about the doctors saying you have 6 months to live, you have cancer, you have 1 year left to live, or you'll never walk again. All of these stories that you hear from family, friends, 2 years later, 3 years later, they're still here, they're still surviving, they've beaten the cancer, they've beaten the illness, they're continuing on. So obviously with all these examples and stories that we have around us that are real stories, don't be trusting the advice or the opinion from the first person you see, the second doctor that you see. Looking at alternative therapies, holistic therapies of where you're actually talking to doctors who actually look at everything else other than just the physical problem or the illness or the disease. Okay, you've gotten the illness and the disease. Let's look at what surgery you can have. Let's look at the prescriptions and the medications that we can prescribe to you. When they don't look at anything related to our emotional state, our surrounding environment, are there things happening in our workplace or with our family that are distressing? Are there any stress factors that we can remove? Are there